What's going on, bottom line viewers and NFL bettors? It's Mitch back here with another NFL Best Bets video. And in this video, my favorite over-unders for week number 6 of the 2022 NFL season, giving you my 5 favorite totals for week number 6. Before I do, don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe to the channel for more BLV NFL Best Bets every week here on the channel. Don't forget to check out my spread picks this week for week number 6. Last week, in terms of totals, we went 4-2 overall, which is pretty good. We're looking to continue that success here in week 6. Let me know your favorite over-under of the week and your best bet this week. Let's get started. And I have to say this out front because I understand that some people, because they like to see exciting things in the NFL, they don't like unders. Well, I'm here to ruin your day because all of these picks are going to be unders. So if you just only want to bet overs, you got to get out of here. I'm sorry, but these are all unders. It's because I like the card this week. I like unders this week. I feel it this week. So let's start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guessed it, it's under 44. And it's real simple logic here, real simple handicap here. I don't know how the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to score that many points. It's going to be a one-sided contest. It's going to be a Tampa Bay Bucks driven game. And it's going to be likely a blowout. I have the Bucks covering the 8 points. But I see it being something like 31-10, 27-10, 30-13. Something in that range. I do not see the Steelers scoring more than 17 points at the most. And if the Steelers score 17, it likely means that the Bucks were unable to put 30 on the board, which likely means that this is still an under, regardless. Tampa Bay does have a dominant defense. And yes, they were brought back down to earth versus the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm not sure if you guys have watched the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Offensively, they are not exactly the Kansas City Chiefs. Kenny Pickett, the rookie, in his second game, is not exactly Patrick Mahomes. Matt Canada is not exactly Andy Reid. And Kenny Pickett, as a rookie, is facing one of the most complex defenses in all of football. Todd Bowles' defensive scheme is very complex. He shows a multitude of coverages, a multitude of blitzing looks. You don't know who's coming, who's going. You don't know if he's playing coverage. You don't know if he's blitzing everybody. You don't know if he's playing man, if he's playing zone. And that's where, when you have a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback, I recall Justin Fields playing Tampa Bay last year, and that was real ugly. They just don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're witnessing on the other side of the ball. You got all these moving pieces, these chess pieces that Bowles is moving around, and that's really difficult for a rookie quarterback to process. And it's not like the Steelers have a running game that they can fall back on and say, let's run it a lot, versus Tampa Bay. The Bucs will easily be able to defend this running game. They've had their slip-ups against the run this year. That Kansas City game is the biggest of them all. But last week they got back on track versus Atlanta. Pittsburgh cannot run the ball consistently. They cannot protect the quarterback consistently. And the Bucs have a very good defense. They should be able to dictate the line of scrimmage. On the other side, I am worried about the Bucs putting up a ton of points. There's no doubt. The Steelers' defense is not really living up to the name of the Steel Curtain. They do have a lot of injuries in the secondary. But we've seen the Bucs just last week get up to a lead, get out to a lead, and then kind of coast, kind of take their foot off the gas, not try to absolutely step on the throat of the opponent. And the Bucs do have a tendency to do that. And the Bucs also have a tendency, if they get up big, to start to run the ball, and they're not very good at running the ball, so that therefore punts the ball back to their opponent. I could see the Bucs going up pretty early, pretty handily, and just coasting to a victory with high 20s to low 30s and not trying to push for a big number in this game. They could potentially do that, but I just don't see it. And Mike Tomlin, Brian Flores, Cam Hayward, they still got good coaching. They still got good players in Pittsburgh on defense. It's not like they're just going to get absolutely diced up and ran over. I would be a little surprised by that. So I have the under in this game, under 44, especially in Pittsburgh, not in Tampa. The Steelers defense should benefit from that. My second over-under pick for week number 6 is the Carolina Panthers and Los Angeles Rams under 42. This is very easy to guess why I like the under. PJ Walker is now the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield is out. PJ is in. Don't necessarily think that helps. Don't necessarily think that hurts, honestly. But PJ Walker is a third string quarterback for a reason. And this offensive line, this team, this offense has struggled to get points on the board. They have found no rhythm offensively. Ben McAdoo has one of the least imaginative offenses in football this year. It's not like Christian McCaffrey is going to be able to run all over the Rams. That's actually the strength of their defense in the interior. And they do have guys like Jalen Ramsey to match up with DJ Moore. I just don't see PJ Walker going out there and trying to push for big plays, push for points. He's probably been instructed, hey PJ, we've got a good defense. Let's rely on McCaffrey. Let's run the ball and don't turn it over. Scramble with your legs, check it down, but don't throw the ball to the other team like Baker did. And PJ might be able to help in terms of extending plays and things of that nature, but this Rams defense has been pretty solid all year. It's really their offense that has struggled, and that's why I love the under even more. The Carolina defense is fairly good. I'd say it's above average, especially when it comes to defending the pass. They got a strong pass rush led by Brian Burns. They've got some interior playmakers like Matt Ioannidis, Derek Brown, and their secondary can play a bit. Now, Jeremy Chin is out, but I look at this Rams offense as just an offense that's struggling. They cannot get out of their own way, really. I mean, they can't run the ball. Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, neither one can do anything on the ground. Their offensive line is extremely beat up and should be decimated by a pretty good pass rush here. And they only have one player, Cooper Kupp, that consistently creates separation and that Matthew Stafford can actually rely upon to make plays. So I look at this game as, yeah, the Rams probably win. I don't know if they cover, but it should be relatively low scoring, pretty boring. And as long as the Panthers defense does not allow one big bounce back by the Rams, which I just don't see coming at this point, I like the under 41. My third over-under best bet for week number 6 is the Indianapolis Colts Jacksonville Jags in Indianapolis under 42. I look at both offenses right now. They look anemic. Jacksonville failed to score double digits against a Houston Texans defense that's actually fairly similar to the Indianapolis Colts in terms of playing four-man rush and passive zone coverage on the back end. Indianapolis is more talented. Now, they are dealing with some injuries on their defense, but they've shown pretty good performances against good offenses like Kansas City, for example, at home. So Indy's defense has not been the issue for a wins and losses standpoint for this football team. It's been the offense, which is why I like the under. They can't score points. They got absolutely stifled by the Denver Broncos. The Broncos had really whatever they wanted from a pass rush perspective, getting after Matt Ryan continuously. Frank Reich has failed to figure out how to help his left tackle. And I look at the Jacksonville defense as one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated in football right now, with the way they can rush the passer, how athletic they are, how fast they are, their linebackers, the way they can blitz, the way that they can play off of each other in the run game. I think Jacksonville's defense is really, really good. I feel that Jacksonville, against this offense in Indianapolis, can do a great job once again. They shut them out in the first game, guys, and I get it. No Pittman in that game and all that stuff, but really, when you look at this matchup, there's not a lot for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor may or may not play. And without Jonathan Taylor, they don't have a lot to fall back on in terms of offense. Matt Ryan just has a noodle of an arm. It takes him 10 plays to convert because he can't push the ball down the field. They can't create explosive plays here. Trevor Lawrence has just not been playing well lately. The offensive line of Jacksonville, I feel, has not been playing lately and probably is at a disadvantage in this matchup, in particular against a guy like DeForest Buckner. And Stephon Gilmore's playing out of his mind right now. I feel like this is a strong under. This might be the strongest under of the week. This might be the strongest play of the week. 42 is just too high of a number for two teams that are struggling to score 10 points the last couple of games. So I've got the under 42 in this game. My fourth over-under best bet for week number 6 is the New York Giants, Baltimore Ravens, under 45, under 44.5. It all starts with Wink Martindale and the bounce back big revenge game for Wink. Because Wink Martindale used to be the Ravens defensive coordinator. He wants revenge. You don't think he's going to have a great game plan to face Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, and this offense? An offense that hasn't really played their best the last 2 weeks. Wink Martindale's defense on their P's and Q's, on their details, playing great situationally, in the red zone, on third down. In the biggest moments of games, they really play well. They can blitz you, they can pressure you, they're aggressive, they defend the run with their big people, and I like the Giants to keep the Ravens to a lower score. I think this is going to be a grinded out football game. That's the way the Giants like to play it, especially on offense with Saquon Barkley. Now, here's the thing. The Ravens know that Saquon's the only offense. They're not dumb like the Packers. They're going to stack the box. They're going to force Daniel Jones to beat them with Darius Slayton and these crappy receivers. And I just don't think man-to-man, Marlon Humphrey versus Darius Slayton, Marcus Peters versus Richie James. I just don't think there's matchups for the Giants to really be able to execute to a high level offensively through the passing game. It's all going to come down to Saquon breaking big plays. He might break 1 or 2, but not enough for them to truly put up a ton of points. This is going to be a grinded out contest, a lot of kicking from Gano and Tucker, and I don't see a lot of touchdowns here because both sides play ball possession type of games and both defenses have something to prove. So I'm going with the under 45 in this one. My final over-under best bet is the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, under 42, which makes all 5 of my best bets unders for the week. The Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, under. The reason I like the under is I'm not sure the Dallas Cowboys offensively are going to be able to do a ton in this game. I just look at this game as the Cooper Rush comes back down to earth type of game. I think the Philadelphia Eagles at home with their defense, I think they're going to be able to slow down Zeke and Pollard in the running game with that big 5-man line that they've utilized in moments this year against teams like Jacksonville, where when Jacksonville started to run the ball on them, they just went, hey, let's put all the big dudes in the middle, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis, let's get this line, and let's just absolutely eat up the run game. And I think they're going to do that a lot, and they're going to force Cooper Rush to find his targets outside. Darius Slay versus CeeDee Lamb, that's tough. James Bradbury against Michael Gallup. I just feel like the Eagles' defense is well constituted, well constructed to defend a Cooper Rush-led Cowboys offense that needs to run the ball to have any success. I don't think they'll be able to do it at a great success. Then you talk about the Dallas defense that's just playing phenomenal, and really there's no science behind it. You know, Philadelphia, the best avenue of success in this game for them offensively is to run the ball. And when you have to run the ball, it's going to eat up the clock. It's going to slow down the game. And a lot like what the Bucks did in that first week against the Cowboys. Yeah, they won the game pretty handily, but it was really low scoring. And they just absolutely ate the clock, right? And I don't think Jalen Hurts, when he is in situations to pass the ball, even with the weapons he has, will fare all that well, because it's a great pass rush in Dallas. They got a great scheme. They've got very good athletes. They can really track you down in space. They've got creative blitzes that Hurts has struggled with, and they've got pretty good corners too that can match up. So Dallas is an excellent pass defense. They do struggle a bit with the run, but I don't think that running game of the Eagles is just going to be enough for this game to soar over, when the other side of the ball, the Cowboys offense, is not putting up a ton of points either. So I've got this under 42 for Sunday Night Football. Let me know your favorite over-under pick of the week, and let me know your best bet for week number 6. It's Mitch. Thanks for watching. Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe for more. Peace.